Hi, this is Jarrett, and welcome to a very special edition of Smoke Signals. I'm going to be asking Mr. Walker some questions about our trip to the Auschwitz exhibit last week in Kansas City. I'm here with Mr. Walker, and I'm going to ask, what did you want the students to get out of this trip?
Well, I'm glad every student that got the opportunity to go went. And what I really wanted everyone to get out of this experience is to understand just how far racism, sexism can truly go. It can go to a genocidal level. And when I go to something like the Auschwitz exhibit, I come home and I hope students realize that inappropriate jokes, inappropriate comments that can be seen as racist or homophobic or sexist, I hope they realize that is the seed that's planted that leads to the Holocaust, and we don't need that in our society.
Okay, did it meet your expectation? Did you like how it went? Did you?
Absolutely. One thing that really stuck out to me was the propaganda posters, because you see that all the time here in the United States right now. You know, political tensions are high, and so when you see that from Nazi Germany, it's very similar, a lot of parallels. And so I encourage kids to not fall into political ads, political signs of today. Think for yourself. Understand what these things are trying to make you think.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Ian. How was your experience at the Auschwitz exhibit?
It was a very interesting trip. I'm glad we got to go. It was very eye-opening, and it really put perspective on what it was really like to live back then and go through this.
Thank you. I'm here with Lizzie. How was your experience at the Auschwitz exhibit?
It was eye-opening. It was very cool.
Thank you. I'm here with Brooklyn. How was your experience at the Auschwitz exhibit?
It was a very eye-opening experience. Getting to see like all of the different artifacts from the Holocaust was it's a very solemn experience. Like every single like suitcase, boot, spoon, everything meant it was a person that went through this experience. Even though we don't individually know every single person that died, it was just it's very solemn, and it was a good experience to go and get to see all of that and listen to all the survivors. There's lots of videos, informational, just to see how like some of them wanted to forgive, some of them didn't want to forgive. It was a very nice experience.
Thank you. After the start of World War II, Adolf Hitler, the Chancellor of Germany, implemented a policy that came to be known as the final solution. He became convinced that his Jewish problem would be solved only with the elimination of every Jew in his domain, along with artists, educators, Romas, communists, homosexuals, the mentally and physically handicapped, and the others deemed unfit for survival in Nazi Germany. Auschwitz opened in 1940 and was the largest of the Nazi concentration and death camps. Located in southern Poland, Auschwitz initially served as a detention center for political prisoners. However, it evolved into a network of camps where Jewish people and other perceived enemies of the Nazi state were exterminated, often in gas chambers or used as slave labor. Some prisoners were also subjected to barbaric medical experiments led by Joseph Mengele. However, not all those arriving at Auschwitz were immediately exterminated. Those deemed fit to work were employed as slave labor in the production of munitions, synthetic rubber, and other products considered essential to Germany's efforts in World War II. For those prisoners who initially escaped the gas chambers, an undetermined number died from overwork, disease, insufficient nutrition, or the daily struggle for survival in the brutal living conditions. Senseless executions, torture, and retribution happened daily in front of the other prisoners. During World War II, more than 1 million people, by some accounts, lost their lives at Auschwitz. In January 1945, with the Soviet army approaching, Nazi officials ordered the camp to be abandoned and sent an estimated 60,000 prisoners on a forced march to other locations. When the Soviets entered Auschwitz, they found thousands of detainees and piles of corpses left behind. Never again, Auschwitz.
You who are passing by, I beg you, do something. Learn a dance step. Something to justify your existence. Something that gives you the right to be dressed in your skin and your body hair. Learn to walk and to laugh, because it would be too senseless, after all, for so many to have died while you live doing nothing with your life. Auschwitz survivor Charlotte Delbo, 1971.